Hey guys, my name's Bettendorf, Stanford. We're coming back at you with a video. It's been a long time since we made one. We're getting a lot of heat because we haven't been making them everywhere we go. You got to get more videos. So, Mr. Brewer, here we go. We're starting them back up for you. We're going to talk today about RBT, the rotary bag table. If you got manual bag tables, you're not going to get much out of this, but most of the equipment's got RBTs on it. As always, you got to follow all the safety rules in your plant. This piece of equipment and the other piece that we're going to be looking at don't even have power to it, so we got nothing to lock out, don't have air run to it. This is, I don't know, halfway built or something like that, but we're going to kind of come in here. This has got an RBT on it right here, rotary bag table. These have been out for years and years and years. They was a Ferguson drive, and then they went to a Camco drive. We're using a servo drive now. We don't actually have one of the old ones around here to show you, so you're going to have to use your imagination a little bit on this. But the sequence on the old ones is when you run out of bags, your probe grounds out, your bag table drops. There's two reed switches on the air cylinder that lets it know it's down. When it's all the way down, that signals it to index around. It indexes around. There's a prox back there called a true position prox. We'll go into a little bit more on that over there. That says it's actually in the position it needs to be. It can raise up, and then it'll raise up until your transducer here is happy. But it has to at least go by the upper reed switch. Doesn't have to be on it, but it has to go by it. So the positioning of the reed switches is important. The programming on it is sequential programming, so it starts off in state 0 and it can't move to state 2 until state 1 is done. So most of the older machines have a state that the RBT is in. If you understand it, you can troubleshoot it pretty easily. Okay. Another thing while we're on the machine, when I install one of these, I always put a number on all the bag tables on both sides and in the front here. And the reason I do that is because then if you've got an operator that's having an issue with one, they can say, well, it's running fine except for on bag table 3. And your job is cut down immensely then. All you got to do is figure out what's wrong with bag table 3, which we're going to cover over there in just a minute. It's mounted on the ring. I don't know if Trixie can come in good enough to see the bracket here. These brackets are slotted, and where the mount is down here, under here is slotted. So the purpose of that is so when we set it inside a machine, we're going to move it back and forth until we get to our happy point where the center of the wicket wire should come up. And I don't know if she can come in on a wicket stop. You guys all know what a wicket stop is. The wire should be in the center of that groove right there on that wicket stop. The other thing that's very important is that this wicket stop be level, and there's two bolts that holds it in. And if you loosen those two bolts, you can wiggle it back and forth this way and get it level. And then you want to get your bag tables all leveled up and squared up with the wicket stop. So we're going to fade out of here. We're going to go over there to we've got a whole one of these assemblies up on the table, and we're going to go through all the steps for that. We got an RBT upper assembly bolted to the, I hope it's bolted to the table here, and we're going to go through all the adjustments that you can do on this thing. It's really important that all these bag tables be level, plumb, square, everything with the machine in order to get your bag blowed up good, and absolutely always in the center of your wicket stop. All right, I got Kyle here helping me today. He's been with us for quite a while. He works over mostly in sub-assembly, but does a little bit of everything. When Kyle's not working, he does the crochet or knitting.
It's knitting.
Knitting, okay.
Both.
Knitting, he does knitting, and he collects those little miniature horse carousel things that wind up with the music coming out. Some of them are really nice looking. All right, so now we got this thing in, as we did over there, and we got this up square with our wicket stop, and our wicket stop is level. So let's go to town. Let's start showing some adjustments, okay? The first adjustment you got, I don't know if Chris can come back here, is all of the bag tables have these 3 bolts that bolts it on. So we're going to loosen them bolts back there. And when we loosen them bolts back there, we're going to see that we can move this bag table Now, if you can get on the square end of that, we can move this bag table like this, and that's going to get us parallel with the front of the machine. So they are the front of the machine and the bag table is parallel. All right, snug one of them down back there, son. We'll see what we can go to now. Now we got that. The next thing we're gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and take this off. We'll set it right there. We're gonna raise this up. Now we're gonna loosen those 3 bolts down there. We didn't cheat and pre-loosen these. All right. Now that's gonna allow you to move this back and forth this way. Okay. So what that's gonna do is I take me a piece of paper and I set on each side of that and let that thing come up to the wicket stop, and I want the same tension on each one of those pieces of paper. Now I know when I'm doing that my bag table is parallel with my wicket stop this way. Okay, you want to snug that back down. That one will do it. All right. Now, I'm going to take this off here right now, just for clarity. Now, I'm going to tell you a rule of thumb. When I install a machine in, I put these right there. I put my finger up there just like that, and I tighten that set screw right there. You got an 1/8 inch out already? All right, that's good enough right now. So that is the official measurement of where to start tension on the bag table, right there. Tighten that one down.
Loosen this one a little too much.
Did you? All right. So that's when I'm going to start. Bingo, ground zero. If I need a little bit more tension, but I'm telling you 99% of the time that finger right there is dead spot on. So we're going to pull this on. Now if you ain't got 2 washers here, just like that, get them on there. Because them washers keep a lot of dirt and a lot of crumbs from getting down inside them little linear bearings, and that makes them last a lot longer. Now to center the entire wicket plate, we took this off just so you can see. We got our whole slotted plate here. Can we loosen them up right there? All right, so we got them. Let's shove that baby back down there so you can kind of see what's going on with it. Now what we can do now is we can move that table back and forth. And what that's going to get us is our nozzle on our wicket stop. We want dead center of the center of this table. So we're just going to move that back and forth. So now we're level this way. We're level this way, plumb this way, or parallel this way. We're this way. Now we're going to get centered up. So we're right dead center. All right, we can snug that down just a little bit right there. Now while he's snugging that down, this is your true position prox sensor here. So this is slotted too. So that you want that going dead center of your prox that's coming through that guard. All right, now the last thing that we're going to level up is we'll put this back on there. Okay, now you may have to kind of come around this way, quick, so they can see this. All right, we got these 2 45-degree slides on each side. Let me get this one, and you can get the other one. We're gonna loosen that up. We'll loosen that one. All right, now that's going to set us this way. So we're going to get level this way. I don't like it level. When I set them in, I'm going to set them in about I'm going to say about a 1 degree uphill climb. Is where I'm going to set that at. So I'm going to set her about right like that. Yeah, pretty close to that. Just slightly uphill. I found that helps get the bags up, especially if you've got a longer bag that's hanging out over there. And then that pretty much does it. It's not rocket science, but guys seem to have a world of hurt keeping these things done. And all you gotta do is just check that every 2 or 3 PMs, make sure everything's all lined up, make sure everything's good, communicate with your operators, make sure they're not having trouble with one bag table. Because they will get off. Don't ask me how, I don't know how, gremlins or whatever, but they will get off. I don't have, you got anything else to add to this? I don't have anything else to add to it. You guys work safe, work smart, work hard, and have a good time.